All right, all right, all right. We're back here. Another, another fresh and funky sports day here. Thought I'd not wear a hat today or whatever, People can comment on the hairline, LeBron James fading back, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. But we got to get into what we did last night here. We went to the men's and women's college hoops parlay, and we didn't win. We did not win. That it was for sure. But we did pick some interesting teams that did win. So, and like I said, college basketball this season is it's been an interesting one, and I think more so than even last year. I think even this year is going to be harder to pick a champion because I believe there's a lot of teams right now. I mean, obviously there's some teams that have shown themselves, obviously in likes of Purdue and Houston and UConn. You know, those are the teams that right now are probably the top of the tops. And then you got obviously, you got Duke in the mix, but Duke lost last night to NC State, the Wolfpack. I mean, and Miami, Florida, they lost to Georgia Tech. I mean, but you had some games that were obviously close that didn't go the way they were supposed to. So okay, I don't even know why that went off there, but I'm gonna look at my trusty dusty thing here. I got a little app thing here, just kind of. It's a college basketball app here on the phone here. That basically boom tells me what games are on, and then what games happened last. Yeah, we were on. I should have took Asheville over High Point. It's definitely. And Auburn lost last night to Georgia 76-64. So I mean, called to Charleston. um, Michigan beat Penn State. No upsets there. Obviously, Oklahoma almost came close to upsetting, but didn't. So, and speaking of UConn, they lost last night to Providence, 73-61 here. So, big time upset. Yeah, Missouri ended up losing to Arkansas by 6 points, not very much. Southern University guys got the W over Prairie View A&M here. So. I should pick Grambling here. And TCU won by a point. North Carolina beat Wake Forest by 9. So, yeah. So ultimately we lost because we picked the Loyola Chicago Ramblers plus the 4. They did not cover here. What was the score in that game here? Loyola Chicago had 57 points. Davidson had 80 here. So we did bet Campbell. The Fighting Camels did win for us yesterday outright. And we had Upstate here. We should have took them on the money line because they outright won and beat upstate here. I took them plus 8.5 on the points. Took the Indiana State Sycamores. They won. Missouri, they lost here barely by 6. And the two ladies teams we took the Lady Jaguars of Southern University. They barely lost. I think it was by like 3 points or something like that. It was fairly close. And then we took the Lady Camels of Camel, and they also lost barely. So not too bad, not too terrible. I mean, I picked a lot of other men's college teams that were fucking horrible. They got ravaged, and people go, why do you even dare bet on the women's hoops? Well, because I like basketball, and whether it's men or women, I think it's interesting to watch the games. I think obviously the men and women's games is a lot different, but we should still support them because they're still athletes, and that's what they do. They support the men. Why don't the women support them? And then even the women don't even support the women. And I mean, honestly, if you went out and asked people, like, oh, and it's sad, it's like you would think, okay, what other women would want to, support other women. But I guess that's not always the case. But today, we do have a lot of games in store here. So let me read them off here. I can read them off here. It's a lot easier than just trying to. That way I can see the chat. So anybody who wants to chime in, anybody who's got any college hoops teams they like, or women's teams, or NBA, or NFL action, or just let me know. If you're in the chat, you're lurking, just type it in. Say, hey, I want to talk about this. Hey, what about this? Or what's your opinion on this? What's how you feel about that? That's engage here. I don't have a fucking studio audience, and I depend on the chat, or it's just me rambling on and talking. And so to most people, it sounds like I'm just a crazy person because I'm not talking to anybody. But that is what live television is. You're speaking out and you're broadcasting, so that way, if somebody does watch you, hopefully they will engage and they'll maybe leave comments, or hopefully, who knows, maybe follow, likes, whatever, subscribe if they want. That's what I always tell people. I'm different. I have to be different. I cannot be the same as everyone else, or else guess what? I will be forgotten just like the next person. So I got to be a little bit more. I'm not shocking, or I'm trying to be a shock jock here. I'm not trying. Anyways, means trying to be the fucking Howard Stern. Believe you me, I don't despise Howard Stern, but I just felt very disrespected by the way that he talked about people that weren't vaccinated. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. I mean, to me, I have my opinions on certain things, but I don't wish upon that people shouldn't be able to live and have a living or whatever just because you don't want to take this. So that's the only thing I have to say about the guy. The guy made his billions of dollars being a shock jock and everything else or whatever. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, when you publicly say some shit, you can't take that fucking shit back. Okay? And nor am I gonna fucking, am I gonna hold that against him for the attorney? Hell yeah. Because you know what? This is how he feels. Okay? If I go out and say that about somebody, you're gonna cancel me. But this motherfucker talks about that shit. They don't get canceled. It should be a fucking eye-opening thing to people. When they silence this and they don't silence that, that tells you things, okay? That's only one-on-one talk about things of this nature. Let's go through college basketball. We have Maine and UMass Lowell here. UMass Lowell is 13-2 on the season, so Maine is 6-7, so it's minus 11, so they think Lowell's going to win by double digits. Interesting. Well, the next game is going to be very interesting. Maryland Terrapins and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Both teams are 10-4 here. So, going to be a really good game in the Big Ten. Love it, love it, love it. We'll have to see what the betting odds say about it. Then we have Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State. Both teams have 7 wins on the season, so that's fairly. Then we have Queens, Queens College, not in Queens, New York. It's in North Carolina. 11-4, taking on Bellarmine at 6-9. Then we have Lehigh and Bucknell. Bucknell is 7-8. Lehigh 5-8. And we got American is 10-3 versus Holy Cross is 5-10. We got Marshall 12-3 versus Georgia Southern's 9-6 on the season. Texas State is 7-8. James Madison is 11-4 here, so interesting contest there. We have Charlotte, the Charlotte Niners or Miners or whatever they want to call them. I think they're Charlotte 49ers or the Niners. They're 11-3 against Florida International, 6-7. Then we got a really good one there, Hofstra and Hampton here. Hofstra is 8-7 here. Hampton is 3-11. Then another contest here. We have Wagner 8-5 here in the men's side here, and Stonehill is 5-11 here. So this is an NEC conference matchup here. Obviously 1.5. So I think this game is going to be a close game by a bucket. We got Southern Indiana in Moorhead State. No lie, that is the college's name. Both colleges are 8-7, so interesting matchup here. Very, very interesting matchup. Both teams have similar records. So then we have number 1 Purdue, 13-1, taking on number 24 ranked Ohio State, 10-3. So that's going to be the big game of the night. See if Purdue can get the job done. Then we have Navy versus Colgate. Brush your teeth with a Colgate. Against those Navy. Navy's 8-6. Colgate's 8-7. So interesting matchup. I mean, I don't got really at a gauge on either team, honestly. Next matchup we have Robert Morris in Youngstown State. Robert Morris is 7-8 here, coming in on the road to play Youngstown State. He was 10-5, so Youngstown pretty decent record so far to start the season. Robert Morris is staying about the 500 mark, not too terrible, so should be an interesting matchup there. Obviously, I don't know if they're conference foes or not. I believe they probably are. We got Jacksonville State and Liberty. Jacksonville State is 7-8. Liberty is 11-4. Man, they think Liberty is going to win by double digits here. So, and then we have Jacksonville, the Dolphins, taking on Stetson here. Jacksonville is 8-5. Stetson 7-6 here. And this one should be an interesting matchup of two teams here. I think both teams are going to play well here. I'd say out of any lower colleges here, these two teams, I believe Stetson's in Florida as well, so it's going to be all Florida matchup there. So interesting. So we'll see. And we have Old Dominion and Troy here. Old Dominion is 9-5 and Troy is 9-6 here. Very another another intriguing, interesting college matchup of teams that people many of us do not really recognize or really know. But definitely both these teams play well college football wise, and they also play well basketball wise. So we'll see how this one shakes out. Then we have Stony Brook and Mammoth. Stony Brook 5-9. Mammoth has only got one win on the season, 1-13. Let's see if they can get maybe their second win here tonight at home. We got Omaha. Nebraska of Omaha, 5-10, taking on Western Illinois, 8-6. Then we have Kennesaw State, 10-5, taking on North Florida, 6-8. Then this matchup is very interesting. I like this matchup very much so. I was looking at this game this morning here before I got on. The UAB is 12-2 against Florida Atlantic, 12-1 here. Both teams obviously playing really good basketball right now. Probably going to have a chance to compete for a spot in the NCAA tournament here. If not, definitely the NIT. yeah, I'm definitely going to be on this game here as far as putting my money where my mouth is. We'll have that segment later on after we go through the games. But I definitely like this game. I definitely think this game is going to be really good. Um, so, yeah. Next game, we have Sacred Heart and Merrimack. Sacred Heart 7-9. Merrimack is 3-13. Let's just say one team is a little bit better than the other. Albany is 5-11, taking on UMC BC. He's 9-6 here. Another matchup of yeah. And then we have the Army, the men's Army, the Black Knights. They are 8-7, taking on 5-10 Loyola, Maryland, the Greyhounds here. Yeah, yeah. And we have New Hampshire taking on Binghamton. New Hampshire is 6-7. Binghamton is 4-10 here. So interesting. One team's way more closer to 500 than the other. Then we have SMU taking on Houston, the Battle of Texas here. Houston's number 2 team in the country, 14-1, taking on SMU 6-8. Then we have Wisconsin Milwaukee, the Panthers 9-5, taking on the Vikings of Cleveland State 8-7. That should also be a interesting matchup of Midwest colleges here. That definitely both teams have had historically. They've had good basketball programs, basketball players. Most notably, Earl Boykins came out of Cleveland State. So I'm trying to I'm blanking out on the guy from Wisconsin Milwaukee who's in the league. I don't know if he's still in it. Then we have Drexel and we have Townsend. Both teams are 8-6. Another possibly really good basketball game here, mid-major. Obviously, a East Coast bottom line basketball game. Then we have Northeastern and William and Mary. Both teams have 5 wins on the season. Then we have Lafayette 2-13 versus Boston University 8-7. Then we got Wisconsin Green Bay 2-13 versus Purdue Fort Wayne, the Mastodons 10-5. So interesting. They think that they're gonna get beat down here. And then another interesting matchup here, I'd say, is Bryant in Vermont. Bryant is 10-4 on the season. Vermont is 7-8 here. Bryant, I think, is having a pretty good year than they normally would have. Vermont usually is very, they've been in the NCAA tournaments before, so you definitely can't count them out tonight. So definitely a game I might be looking at as well here. I'm just gonna say that. And then we got Long Island University 2-12 versus Central Connecticut State is 3-13. I don't know. I might target a game where teams aren't very good and try to bet one of those teams. So maybe this might be a game. We got Tennessee State 9-6 versus Edwardsville of southern Illinois here, 10-5 here. So, and like I said, another interesting matchup of two teams. That obviously these teams are playing pretty well so far. Don't know if they make the tournament, but maybe if they continue to play well, they will make the tournament or the NIT at least. Then we got Georgia State 8-6, Louisiana Monroe is 6-9. Georgia State is 8-6. Then this game as well, I'm going to be on as well here. This Grand Canyon, they're 10-4 versus Sam Houston State 11-3. Definitely a game I like as far as the Southwest matchup. Let's just say that because the Grand Canyon is in Phoenix, Arizona, and Sam Houston State is in obviously Houston. So the next matchup we have Seattle U is 10-4 versus Texas Rio Grande Valley 8-6. Another matchup I might be looking at here as well because both teams. I mean, Seattle U was on them pretty hardcore last season, along with Grand Canyon. I was on Sam Houston State as well. This year I've been betting Rio Grande Valley. They've been actually pretty decent for me, so we'll check and see how that works out here. Middle Tennessee State here, 9-5 against University of Texas San Antonio, 6-8. Then we have Southern Miss, 13-2 versus Louisiana Lafayette, 10-4 here. Another interesting matchup of two teams that definitely, Southern Miss. Southern Miss is bringing up, obviously Frank Gore in the bowl game, and now their basketball squad is looking pretty well here. Like they're gonna make a noise for the Elite Least Conference and maybe possible NCAA berth here. I don't know. It's been probably quite some years since they've been in the tournament. And then we have Southern Utah 10-5 versus Tarleton State 7-7. I definitely like Southern Utah. I bet them last season, and I definitely have bet them this season. Then we have Washington State and Arizona State here. Arizona State is 11-3. Washington State is 6-9. Then we have Denver, who's 10-6, versus St. Thomas, who's 11-6 here. Another matchup of teams that are probably really good that nobody really knows about. Good young programs that are starting up and coming, and obviously they're playing each other tonight to see who's got the better record. Obviously they play in the same conference. Then we got South Dakota State versus North Dakota State, the battle of the Dakotas here. South Dakota State is 7-8. North Dakota State is 4-11. So North Dakota State not having a great basketball season. South Dakota State, they're about 500 and could get better. So we'll have to see there. Then we have Arkansas State 9-6 versus South Alabama here, which is 6-8. Then we have Utah Valley 11-4 taking on Texas Arlington, who is 5-10. Then we have Louisiana Tech 8-6 versus Rice, which is 11-3. Then we have Eastern Kentucky 8-7 versus Central Arkansas 5-10. Then we have Lamar 4-10 versus New Orleans, that is 3-9. Florida Gulf Coast 12-3 versus Austin Peay 6-9. We have North Alabama 9-6 went up against 8-7 Lipscomb here. And South Dakota 7-8 versus North Dakota 6-9. And we have Montana 7-7 and Northern Arizona 4-11. We have Montana State 8-7 versus Northern Colorado 5-9. We have Houston Christian 4-10 here versus Southeast Louisiana here 6-8 here. And then we have Northwestern State here 8-6 versus McNeese State 4-10. Then we have Eastern Illinois 6-9 versus Tennessee Tech 4-11. We have North Texas 11-3 versus Western Kentucky, which is 8-5. Really good matchup here as well between two teams that nobody probably even knows plays good basketball. Then we have Portland State taking on Eastern Washington. Portland State is 6-8. Eastern Washington is 8-7. Then we have Nicholls State 8-7 taking on Texas A&M Commerce 5-10. Then we have Cincinnati 10-5 taking on the Wichita State Shockers 7-7. Then we have the 8-6 Sacramento State Hornets taking on the Idaho Vandals here 6-9. Then we have the 8-6 Oregon Ducks taking on the 9-6 Colorado Buffaloes here. So since Deion's got there, Colorado's looking like an up and coming program in the football and basketball ranks here. But I still kind of like Oregon tonight if Oregon is a underdog. So Southeast Missouri State is 6-9. Tennessee Martin is 9-6. We have number 15 ranked Indiana is 10-3 versus Iowa, who's 8-6. We have UC Irvine versus UC Davis. UC Irvine is 8-5. UC Davis is 7-6. So it'd be an interesting game there. Then we have The 11-4 USC Trojans taking on the number 10 ranked UCLA Bruins that are 13-2. Then we have Santa Clara that is 13-4 taking on Pepperdine. And I kind of like Santa Clara if they are an underdog here tonight. Oregon State 7-11 versus Utah, which is 11-4. Then we have 11-3 Hawaii taking on UC San Diego, the Tridents here, 6-8 here. And then we have Cal State Fullerton, 7-7 taking on UC Riverside, 9-5. Then we have Utah Tech here, 9-6, taking on California Baptist, 8-7 here. And then we have the Long Beach State. They are 6-8 here, and Cal State Northridge is 3-10. Then we got Pacific is 8-9 versus San Diego, the Toros that are 8-8 here. So pretty even battle here, I'm going to say here. I have to go with the Pacific here. And, Cal Poly is 7-7 versus Cal State Bakersfield, 4-9. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the over-under is because last time I bet that it was a good cash. Then we got the number 9 ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs, 12-3, taking on San Francisco, 11-6 here, the Dons. And then we have Washington, 9-6, taking on number 5 ranked Arizona Wildcats, 13-1. And then last but not least, we have BYU, 12-5 against Loyola Marymount here, 11-5 here. Another matchup of two West Coast basketball teams that, obviously BYU is in Utah, but Loyola Marymount is also obviously colleges in California, with Southern California to be exact. And yeah, two good programs here, along with that Gonzaga and San Francisco, And then one game that already is final here, Farley Dickinson has won today 76-57 over St. Francis of Brooklyn. Farley Dickinson is 9-8. St. Francis of Brooklyn, the Terriers are 6-8 here. So that is your rundown here as far as the men's side goes here. Let's go look. We're going to look at the ladies' side here. Then we're running. There's not too much NBA, so that's why we're not. So we're going to really get into the betting today here. So obviously what's going on right now, the ladies, we got third quarter action. We have Cal State Fullerton. The Lady Titans are leading 27-25 over the Lady Highlanders of Riverside here in the third quarter with 7:49 to go. Then we have this other game right now is the Ladies of Liberty here are leading 49-45 over the Lady Sugar Bears of Central Arkansas. And no, I'm not. You could go look that up. That's what they call themselves. And they're the fourth quarter, last quarter, with 9:06 to go here. So Sugar Bears still have some time in to go. Obviously, LaSalle and Davidson girls are getting warmed up. Utah Tech and Stephen F. Austin girls are warming up. Missouri and Alabama girls are warming up as well. That should be a good matchup. Missouri girls are 13-2. Alabama girls are 12-3. We got Southern Indiana and Morehead State. They're warming up as well. Then we got Furman and Woolford. We got Florida International versus Charlotte. We got James Madison versus Marshall. That's James Madison. The Lady Dukes are 12-2 against the Lady Thundering Herd. That is 9-4. Let's see if there's any other matchups to talk about here. Number 22 ranked North Carolina. They're 9-4 versus the Hurricanes. They're 8-6. Then we got the ladies from Duke here. They're 13-1, and they are 19th ranked, taking on the ladies of Wake Forest. Lady Demon Deacons 10-5. Then we have the ladies of the Clemson, 11-4, taking on the Lady Seminoles that are 14-2. Just kind of want to. Then we have Mississippi State. The Lady Bulldogs here are 12-3 against the Lady Volunteers of Tennessee are 10-6 for the season. So a little bit of a kind of a down season for Tennessee girls basketball here. Question mark. Then we got the Lady Cavaliers of Virginia versus the Lady Hokies, number 9 ranked. This definitely is going to be a big game here. Battle of Virginia here. Then the lady, number 1 ranked Lady Gamecocks of South Carolina are taking on Auburn. They are 14-0 so far in the season. The Gamecocks are here, undefeated still. Then we have the Lady Huskies of Connecticut of UConn, 12-2, taking on the Lady Xavier, the Lady Musketeerettes, 7-7 here. Then we got the Lady Gators that are 12-3 versus the Lady Hogs of Arkansas, 14-3. So then we got number 3 ranked Ohio State. The Lady Buckeyes are 15-0 here, taking on the Lady Gophers of Minnesota, 8-6 here. So shall be an interesting matchup there. Then we have, just like the guys matchup here, Lady Gonzaga is ranked number 20, and they are 14-2 in San Francisco. The Lady Dons are 12-3 here on the season here. Seattle U 1-11 here against Cal Baptist here. So we'll see about that here. Maybe we bet that here. Number 7, Lady Tigers of LSU are 14-0, taking on the Lady Aggies of A&M, 5-7. All right, so that is gonna do it for that here. Let's get into the NBA here. We'll get to the NBA right now. Let's get to the NBA here. Alright. So let's see. We're going to see what the Alright. So we're going to see what games we're going to see what games they are for the NBA right now. And we're going to see what the odds are. All right, so we got the Memphis Grizzlies and the Orlando Magic. Obviously, the Orlando Magic coming off a big victory over the Thunder last night, and the Memphis Grizzlies coming off a big victory here. I don't think they played last night. I think they played the night before. So, going to be an interesting matchup of teams coming off some momentum here. Obviously, the Grizzlies are the better of the two teams right now, but can Orlando start gaining some momentum and building upon something to show that they're going in the right direction? Because we know Memphis is already going in the right direction, so we're not worried about that here. And so, should be an interesting game, though. Definitely going to be an interesting game. 7 o'clock Eastern time. Then we had the Boston Celtics taking on the Dallas Mavericks here. Love this game. Love this game a lot. I love both these teams here. I think both these teams have, a solid starters, and they also have contributors come off the bench. And anytime that the starters are struggling, that they can come up and give their team a boost. So definitely love this game a lot here. I'm a big fan of Jason Tatum. I definitely like Jaylen Brown ever since he came out of Cal. Like the Celtics are just a hard nosed hard team. They work together as a good team, you know. And so they got Marcus Smart here, He can play really good great defense, lockdown defense, he can shoot threes. Grant Williams the same thing. Obviously got Brogdon, and they brought in White last season, and those guys are proven to be very good contributors as well. And obviously they're missing the Time Lord. They're missing the Time Lord, Robert Williams III. But I still believe that Boston still has a good team to compete. And on the other side, Dallas, I really respect Luka Doncic a lot. He's the main reason why I drafted him in my fantasies. Is the number one pick when I had the option to. I believe he is pound for pound, one of the best players in the NBA today. Obviously, I'd say Giannis. Obviously, you'd have LeBron, obviously, until he retires. But I'd say, Giannis is starting to come up a bit here. There's some guys out here that are making noise, and I think Luka Doncic, obviously the Joker as well. Dallas with the two guys that have Christian Woods, I like him well. He's a very good big man. He likes to pass. He can shoot. He scores. I love Tim Hardaway's son, Timmy Jr. And just like the team that they have, I think that they just got guys that want to play. Bolek, he can shoot. He can play defense. You just got guys that want to win, and they're about just not themselves, but play within the team, play within themselves, and try to be the best they can. And so that's where I'm at. So that's why I like this game, and there's a reason why this game's -3 right now. Utah Jazz and Houston Rockets. Obviously, the Jazz are the better of the two teams right now, but the Rockets are competitive. They're not going to just lie down and just get beat on a nightly basis, and so they're going to get out and be able to be competitive. And they've beaten the Jazz before. They ended the Jazz's, when the Jazz were on a long streak. So, some people are scared to put their money where their mouth is with the Rockets. I might not be. Plus 6.5 points. It's interesting. And last game but not least, we have the LA Clippers taking on the Denver Nuggets here. Definitely love this game as well. I like the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are back, playing healthy and being competitive. And I'm glad that Jamal Murray's back, and they got Michael Porter coming back now ever so slowly to integrate him. Aaron Gordon's getting ever so much better. Joker's so much better, and I just feel like the Nuggets are our team that's clicking right now, and it's going to be tough to beat these guys. And that's why I like them a lot here. I figure they're only going to get better, and if they can just improve and get can solidify their guys that coming off the bench that really, I think the Nuggets are going to be a team that nobody's going to want to see when it comes to playoff time. And the Clippers, if the Clippers can get healthy and get all that, I think they have talent off the bench as well. That as long as Kawhi can stay healthy and Paul George can stay healthy throughout the season, I think this team can go places as long as those two guys really stay healthy and they can get contributions from the other guys as well. So that is pretty much And then, we got NHL here. I didn't even go over I didn't even go over NHL last night, but we'll go over tonight. We got Arizona. We got Arizona and the Flyers. We got the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. We got the Nashville Predators and Carolina Hurricanes. We got the St. Louis Blues and the New Jersey Devils. We got the Seattle Kraken and the Maple Leafs. We have the Capitals and Columbus Blue Jackets. We have the New York Islanders and Edmonton Oilers. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. We have Colorado Avalanche and Vancouver Canucks. We have the Boston Bruins and Los Angeles Kings. So, all right. So, let's see here. Um, hmm. I'm gonna have to take Memphis on the money line here, and I'm gonna take Mavericks money line here over the Celtics here, and I'm gonna take over 231 in this Jazz and Rockets game, and I'm gonna take the Clip. I mean, not the Clippers. I'm gonna take the Nuggets here. All right. So we got college basketball here. Let's see. Let's see what we like here. What is to our liking? Maryland is the underdog. Okay. Mm. Queensboro College. I mean, do we take that here? Mm. Yeah, we'll take the Queensboro here. We'll take that +1 there. And UAB is underdog here, so I'm gonna take UAB there. Yeah, Bryant. Purdue is underdog here, so don't hate that as well. Yeah. The Mastodons here. All right. Hmm. Alright. Hmm. Alright. We'll take that here. We'll make that. This will be the first bet here. We didn't add women's, but we'll do a men's college college and ladies. Well, whatever. We'll find the games or the games that have it. But we're gonna write down this parlay here for the night here. Let's see. First, we'll call it the first bet. First bet of the day here. First bet of the day. First, the first parlay of the day. We got the Grizzlies money line minus 250. Got the Grizzlies. I'm gonna take the Mavericks here. Mavericks money line plus 122. Then we're taking the over 231 points in the Jazz and Rockets here minus 110. And then we're taking the Nuggets here. Nuggets on the money line here minus 222. Then we're taking Queens. Queens Royal. Queens Royals. Plus one on the spread here. So I put the odds on there minus 110. Just forgot. Then we got UAB. UAB. And they are the Blazers here. Got them on the money line plus 109. Then we have the Bryant. We have the Bryant Bulldogs here on the money line plus 148. Alright. And then we have Purdue. And Purdue here. And the Boilermakers here on the money line plus 104 here tonight. Then we got Purdue. The Mastodons here. Their money line here minus. And then we got Grand Canyon here. Grand Canyon, the Antelopes here. Them on the money line plus 133. Alright, we bet $1. We wagered $1 here. And if we cash, it'll be $424.02 here. Hopefully we'll be profitable there. We'll have to see. Now we'll make a second bet here. The second parlay of the day. Hello. Really, really backwards there. Alright, so let's go do this. Alright. Alright. We'll take Texas Rio Grande plus 6.5 there. Southern Miss is underdog here. We'll take them on the money line. We'll also take Denver, Southern Utah here. I'm going to take Houston Christian plus 9.5. Take Oregon. Over 120. Yeah, easy to go over 120 there. Alright. Take Alright, let's see what they have for the ladies. Dayton Fire. I mean, we can. Let me see this here. That way. It'll be a lot easier. Be a lot easier. Yeah, we're 2-10. Yeah. Colgate and Navy. Clemson girls ball. They upset me now. I mean, Houston Christian. I mean, Yeah, see that put us way over the limit here. But if we took them, yeah. All right. Look at that now. Pick Wisconsin Green Bay girls here. Alright. Alright. So we're gonna bet that here. Alright, so let's tell them it's Golden Eagles here. Put them on the money line here. 126 here. Denver. Pioneers here. On the money line as well here. Plus 233 here. Then we take Southern Utah here. Thunderbirds here. Birds of Thunder here. -1 here on the spread here. Then I took Houston. Christian. Huskies here. Plus 9.5 here on the spread. And we have the Oregon Ducks here. We got the Oregon Ducks here on the money line here, plus 115. And took the over 120 in Cal Poly and Cal State Bakersfield. All right. And we took Pacific here. Pacific Tigers plus 6.5 on the spread here. And then we took Green Bay, the Phoenix here. Money line And then we took UT Martin here. That way. That way. That way I know. That way I know. Alright, so we got our bets of the day done. Alright, get that, move that out of the way here. Get these bets out of the way here. We'll recap the bets here. We got to look at the. We're gonna look at. We're gonna look at player props here. Gotta see because we did well yesterday in our prop bet here. We did very well yesterday here. We went 5 for 5. We'll go over the resume here. I mean, there's ones you you could do it for guys in college basketball, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm brave enough to test those waters here. But yesterday, let's bring up yesterday's player bet prop here. That we cashed 5 for 5 here. We took Benedict Mathurin to have over 15.5 points. He had 19 for the Indiana Pacers, which took the game into overtime, which was good because I almost thought he wasn't going to cash me. I mean, they've showed him he has comparison numbers to LeBron James's. I'm not saying that Benedict Mathurin is going to be anything close to what LeBron James is, but statistically, he's putting up the same stats that LeBron James did as far as comparison to where he was at in his rookie season. So he cashed. I had LaMelo Ball to have over 46 fantasy points. He certainly did that. LaMelo's he's been a really good player bet prop that has cashed a lot for me. You know, I've trusted him a lot obviously since he's returned, obviously, and played. He's lived up to the hype. He's put up the numbers that he has to, and it's been a pretty good profit here. Another young rookie that I like. I've been picking is Jalen Williams. There's just two Williams. There's Jalen Williams, and there's Jalen. I'm talking about Jalen here. I had him to have under 20 20 points, rebounds, and assists. He did. He stayed well under that number. I usually take him over. Then I had Pablo Branchero. Obviously, I bought into him. He's the best player. He's the best young rookie guy. He's had his ups and downs. He started out really hot. Then he's fizzled out so much. He's a little bit here, but I know he's going to start heating up again. And maybe, I guess Memphis tonight, maybe he proves it again. Maybe he puts up another 25-plus point game. Yes, he had to put over 23, and he put up 25, so he helped me. And the last but not least of the parlay was Quentin Grimes to have under 20 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 17. He had 14 points. He had one assist and like 3 rebounds or something like that. Yeah, I think it was something like that. But yeah, those all cashed. So that player prop parlay did cash. So we're happy about that here. So I gotta delete all these other ones here so I don't get confused and be like, oh, what the hell? All right. Because we're gonna make one again here today. And there's not very many games, so it's very selective. So we're gonna have to maybe pair some people up here. And Oh yeah, I didn't go over yesterday's NBA. Well, we lost because we had the Cavs. They ended up winning. We had the Hornets +7. They killed us. Pacers money line, that killed us. Thunder -1 against the Magic, that killed us. The Milwaukee Bucks. I believe the Milwaukee Bucks won here. I have to. We'll have to double check that here. I'll have to check. We'll have to check here. So. All right. So we're gonna review what happened yesterday on Wednesday night here. All right. So the Bucks did win in overtime. The Bulls, the Bulls won, and it stayed under 234 as well. And the T Wolves won. And that was a W. The Warriors lost. Wow. Warriors took an L. And the Heat took an L here. And the Kings lost by 3 here. It stayed at under 237. So it stayed under the 245, which I thought. So the only teams that really did me in was the Hornets, Pacers, Thunder, and the Warriors. So we lost 4 here. And we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Won 5. It's not too bad. We didn't do too bad here in the NBA here. We did a lot better than I thought. So yeah. So let's post up here. We're gonna get the NBA player prop for 1-5. All right. So obviously John Morant here. John Morant on my Grizzly here. He only had 1 turnover here. John Morant only had 1 turnover. He had 23 points. He had 8 assists here, so assists are maybe something to bet on here. If we look at here, he has no fantasy points. He has to score 29 points here, so 32. I mean, not saying that he doesn't go off here. Like I said, I'd like to take John Moran, but that's we might have to. He has 17. I mean, and his rebounds here, he had 8, 7, and 6. He's been a difference maker. So maybe we take Jaren Jackson here. I think he does well here. Paulo has to score just 20 points tonight. He scored 25. He scored 21. So I think once again we're gonna ride Paulo Branchero here. We're gonna take his points here. We say that he's gonna get 21 tonight at least here. Franz Wagner, I believe he's back here, but I don't know how much I trust that here. Um, we got Jason Tatum here. Yeah, 29, 25. All right, so they say, but tonight he's going up against Luca tonight. He's going up against these guys tonight. Now I'm gonna go with the ominous here. Now I want to see. I'd like to see how many free throws attempts that Jason Tatum takes here. I think that to me makes me want to, you know, it makes me take a look at what does this player do. Obviously he's obviously a scoring beast here, but what does he do on a nightly basis? What is his average here when he goes to the line here? Okay. So he had 7. He went 7 for 7 in the loss against OKC. All right. He had 11, 6, 8, 10, 9, 11, 11, 9, 4, 4, 4, 4, 6, 4. And he had 11, 1, 8. So he was very he's very inconsistent, but he does get the line quite a bit here. So what do we got? We got 7.5 free throws that he makes 8 tonight here. And he made what? He made 7 against OKC. And against Denver he had 11. So let's go with Tatum's gonna hit. I say he's gonna hit 8. Let's go. He hits 8 tonight here. I like that. I like that prop a lot here. Ooh, and speaking of our man Robert, big Time Lord, the Time Lord here. You know, they're so. I mean, I could expect him to get some blocks here. That'd be something maybe look into. Then you have Luca. I mean, Luca's been on a tear. I mean, he's been on a tear. He's had 30, 35, 51, 39 here, and he's gone off here. He's gone off here. And I know his free throw props, Luca's gonna have 60 fantasy. I mean, he's been I mean, they've been talented him. So I mean, do I tout my expectations here? And how many rebounds? He got 12 last 6, 12. I mean, but let's say we're gonna say that Luka gets tonight. We say he gets 60. We'll say he gets 60 fantasy points. 60 and under here. So that's 3. So we need 2 more here. We need 2 more here. Oh man, Walker Kessler here. Do we take him? He's had 720. Can he have 7 rebounds again? I mean, he only had 17 minutes. So I mean, if he doesn't get that many minutes here, I mean, he's. I'm gonna say Walker Kessler has over 6.5 rebounds here, and then we're gonna go with. What about Kawhi Leonard? What has he been doing here? He had 26, 24. I mean, he didn't play against Miami, so he should be well rested here. That he hits more than 4 free throws here. I don't know what his. This is another. He's another guy that I have to look at, like as far as what is his consistency at the free throw line been like. Like I feel like you can't just. Really, you just can't take a guy and you're like, all right, well, he's gonna get. I mean, that's a low number. I think you can get that. Well, I mean, it just depends. All right. All right, so we went 7, 1, 4, 3, 5, 4. So the most he's ever hit has been 7. So that 4.5 is not too bad. Is not too bad at one. But then we have the Joker over here. We know the Joker, man. We know him, man. He's a cash money machine. Jamal Murray. Yeah, see they kind of tailed down his. They kind of tailed down his. Man, I'm telling you, Joker, man, he's just on fire. Damn triple doubles, and he had at least 9 assists here. I mean, talking about. And you just gotta get 27 tonight. I mean, All right. Tatum. Yeah, Tatum goes the line here. But I don't know. I think. So we take Joker's free throws here. Like the Joker, I think he. I just. I don't know. I feel like. I feel like he. He always gets to the line. Yeah, see, he had 8 against Boston here. He only had 3 against the Timberwolves here. But then against Miami, he had 1. Then he had 10. He had 6. He had 7, 5, 12, 8, 9, 8. Then it was 4, 5, 5, 1. He's been kind of. There's been a couple games where he just. Let's just say recently he. And this was 3 days ago here. He had 4 attempts. He was 3 for 4. He only missed 1. And like for a while there, he was in a record here. He had double digits. He's madly consistent getting those. As far as points too. Points. He's hitting the 30s a couple times. So if I can say anything here, I'm gonna say Joker gets the line there. Kawhi Leonard here. And we'll take Kawhi Leonard's free throws as well here. These 2 guys in the same game here. All right, so we're gonna. All right. All right, made the player prop here. Here we go. First one is yep. Paulo Banchero to have over 20.5 points scored. And we got Luca average to have under 60.55 fantasy. Then we have Walker Kessler to have over 6.5 rebounds there. And the last 2 here. Nikolai Jokic to have over 6 free throws made. And then we got Kawhi Leonard to have over 4.5 free throws made here. All right. There have it. There it is. All right, before we end the show here, let's go ahead and we're gonna flip our bets here. We're gonna put our bet up here, our two team bets here that we have, and we'll put our player bet prop parlay here. We'll go in order here, order and how we did it here, obviously. All right, we'll go with the first parlay bet of the day. We took the Memphis Grizzlies money line. We took the Dallas Mavericks money line. We're taking the over 231 in the Jazz and Rockets. We're taking Nuggets money line. We're taking Queens Royals +1 on the spread. UAB Blazers money line +109. Bryant Bulldogs money line +148. Purdue Boilermakers money line +104. Purdue Fort Wayne the Macedons money line -2,000. And Grand Canyon Antelopes money line +133 here. So if all those cover, our dollar will turn into $424.02. All right, so we got the second parlay where we took Texas Rio Grande Valley to cover the 6.5 points on the spread. So they got to lose by less than 6.5 points here. And we have Southern Miss Golden Eagles money line +126. We have Denver Pioneers money line +233. We have Southern Utah Thunderbirds -1 on the point spread. We have Houston Christian Huskies -9.5 on the spread. The Oregon Ducks on the money line +115. We have the over 120 points between Cal Poly and Cal State Bakersfield. We have UOP, aka Pacific Tigers, +6.5 on the spread. And two ladies games we took: Wisconsin Green Bay Phoenix money line -3,333, and University Tech Tennessee Martin the Skyhawks, the Lady Skyhawks money line +2,000 here. So if those cash, oh shit, I didn't, I didn't even put out an amount on there here. Well, that's okay. We'll get there. And so, all right. Well, it doesn't matter. The money amount doesn't matter because usually we don't even win at that at all. And we got NBA player prop here. We took Paulo Branchero to have over 20.5 points scored. Luka Doncic to have under 60.55 fantasy points. Walker Kessler to have over 6.5 rebounds. Nikhil Joker, the Joker, to have over six free throws made. And Kawhi Leonard to have over 4.5 free throws made. So those are our bets for the day. This is truly the bets here. So we're gonna leave it at that here. Gotta go. I gotta go here in about another hour here, less than an hour now. But want to get off here so I can get ready and get prepared. So, but we'll be on here tonight. We got throw it down Thursday in the mix here with manuscripts. So if you enjoy this content, you'll enjoy the music even more because you get to see me having a good time and having a blast and just just enjoying it. I mean, I love sports, but I can't show people like, wow, I just can't, man. I mean, sports is what it is. I don't know what to tell people. And people ask me, do I think sports is rigged? I say yes. I say hell yes. Just because the simple fact that when you see weird shit happen and this thing, it's not coincidental, and just things just happen to. So, but I love doing sports and I love talking sports and doing my parlays and my picks and breakdowns of the teams. And I didn't really get to too much breakdowns of the NFL games here. Figure I'll do that tomorrow, Friday, Freaky Friday. So hopefully we'll get some winners tonight. We go 2 for 2 here on our player prop parlay, going 5 for 5 again, hopefully. And maybe we can win a team bet today or something. Start the year off good. So until tomorrow for the sports show, take care of yourselves and, be better, not bitter. Love more than you hate. And just try to have a better attitude each and every day, and especially dealing with people, even when we're not in the best frame of mind, or when people try to push the buttons and do all that. Let's try to be better people and just become, stoop lower than we should. All right. So peace out.